Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome in. What's up, Oshik? How's it going? Hey, bro. I was looking for your channel on Twitch. Didn't know you went live. Yeah. Well, welcome in. Yeah, it's going pretty good. I stayed up last night working on the game. Hence the reason why the stream is super late, so I apologize. Because I totally slept in. But I think it's okay, because I did get a lot done, so... You know. Pros and cons. Yeah, it's going good. I'll have to show you guys what I got going on. So far progress has been pretty good. Today we're going to be focusing, like, really honing in on gameplay stuff. Because that's what we need to do, you know. So. Hopefully we can get all the gameplay kind of set up and ready to go. And yeah. Should be epic. Yeah, what are you guys up to? Oh yeah, I need to post that I'm live and stuff on the server. Almost forgot. No, I didn't see it yet. I knew that it was going on, but I need to look at that. Actually, I wanted to do that today on stream, just for fun, to see what's going on. Hey, what's up, Battingham? How's it going? I need to go post on the Discord. Get the Going Live channel. Let's see here. Day 2 of rogue Day 2 of roguelike. Day 2 of rogue. Day 2 of roguelike. Train game. Sure. Yeah, Overcooked train game. I think it's gonna be, I don't know. It's kind of like Overcooked in the sense that, like, you have to, like, manage stuff. But it's also not, probably, because it's gonna be more of a roguelite, I think. Or roguelike, in this case, because you will lose. So, but I don't know yet. We're gonna just keep messing around and getting there. But yeah, I got a lot to show off. A lot of progress to show off. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So first off, I've been working on the train model more. It's still very basic, but the big thing is that from a distance, you can kind of tell that it's a train. And I can also take this model and turn it into a logo pretty easily. Don't worry about the colors. For some reason, whenever I change the model, it resets all the materials. So I'm just going to do that last so that I don't have to constantly be setting the materials. But it's looking pretty good inside. There's 3 wagons now. So the front I've sort of updated. Now it's got like a better furnace in here. A little lever to start the train. You'll see what all this stuff does. There's also some more stuff back in here, so we'll go take a look at that now. But it's going pretty good. Still need to work in the main menu. I just set up like some colliders. I also got like environment stuff set up. It's really basic. It's just some trees and grass, but it helps to just kind of fill out the area. It makes it look cooler when you're inside of here. And I don't know why I'm like super slow. That is definitely not right. Is the game lagging? No. I don't know what happened with that. That's a little weird. I didn't change anything. from now until when I did that. So I'm not sure what's going on. The only thing I changed in here is added in the colliders, so I don't know why I'm slow. That's a little odd. I mean, the only difference is that I dropped the player down. Maybe, maybe that changes your speed for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Well, whatever. We'll just increase the player speed, I guess. It's weird though. So there's new tools. There's the bucket. There's also, and the shovel's all ready to go, and then you can also start the train with the lever. So the gameplay loop is that you... Yeah, can I just walk on this now? Yeah, I can. And then you can't escape now. Need to probably put another collider here so you can't, like... there's also the wrench, which we're going to be implementing the, you know, code for that. So the whole idea is you go back to the train, you get some coal. Again, no idea why I'm so slow. I'm not sure what's up with that. And then you refuel the furnace. So how much coal in the furnace changes how fast your water gets consumed, but then also the speed of the train. So if you fill it up fully, which requires 3 shovelfuls, then it'll be really fast. But then also your water goes away like instantly. It doesn't actually do anything right now if you don't have water, but we're gonna make it so it starts fires. Which obviously is bad for your train. Yeah, this is really weird. It feels like I'm in sludge right now. Like I'm wading through slime, you know what I mean? I don't know why it's like that. Maybe I'll relaunch the game just to be safe, but... Okay, so anyways, when that's set up, then you can turn on the train. And we'll start moving along. It starts burning. We hit our goal of 100 meters, so it stops. I think at this point, this is where you're gonna be able to like choose the next environment you want to go to, or like get like perks and stuff, you know? Or maybe you get like a point or something, I don't know. I'll have to figure that part out. But it's getting there. Gameplay is closer. And then you can just start it up again. I'm gonna increase the distance of these goals, because right now it's really short. You know, it's only 100 meters, which is not very far. So we're gonna up that to probably like a kilometer. But I have the environment wrapping. You can probably see it snap back every once in a while, but that's something I can fix. I just haven't. But yeah, it's going pretty good. More decorations in here. It's starting to look better in here, I think. I need more pipes and dials and stuff. We're gonna work a little bit on UI stuff so that you can monitor how much coal and water you have, just at a glance. I kind of was thinking about which one I wanted to go with that, where it's like, do you have to come to the furnace to see how much coal there is, and do you have to come to the little water thing? But I've thought about it, and I think it's just better to have it on the UI, because I think it's going to be annoying if you have to run back to see what it is, you know? So, yeah. Here's my idea. There should be a shop with a shopkeeper called Greg. That is a rock with googly eyes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Hey, Elite Stomper, what's up? Yeah, train game's going good. I am just trying to get all the gameplay stuff like working. And so far things are going. These sounds were kind of hard to make. That's until I realized I am still allowed to use online sounds as long as they're derivative. But all these were made with my mouth or recording random things. The whistle of the train is me whistling. I just layered 3 whistles on top of each other. So yeah, the footsteps, I actually recorded like my house furnace. I just recorded me hitting it with my phone. And likewise, I also recorded just the furnace on, so we have like a furnace sound now. So I think that'll work. But yeah, it's definitely shaping up. Just gotta grind out some more gameplay. And then once we get gameplay like sort of set up and solid, we can really start to hit hard on the polish, you know? Add in new sounds and yeah, all that stuff. So the whole idea is that we gotta use this wrench to go around and repair like little holes in the train, you know? So maybe there's like a hole back here and you gotta just left click it until it patches up. It's kind of like, we need to go deeper in that sense. But it'll be good. It's just like, I want there to be things that you have to go around and do as a distraction from the things that you have to do, aka filling up the water and the coal, right? So it's kind of like a time management game in that sense, because it's like, okay, I gotta do that, and do I go fill up my water? Do I go deal with the hole in the train first, you know? So... this game definitely could be like a multiplayer game, but we're not gonna have multiplayer for the jam, so yeah. Yeah, I still have 2 days, you can really polish this up. Yeah, right? I think it'll be pretty easy too. Just work on the models more and stuff. I've been really back and forth about like the environment and the lore of this world, you know? So I'm not sure. I think, my very first initial idea was like, it's like the apocalypse and you have to like transfer resources. And maybe we can do that. But then I was also thinking like, well, okay, how do I make the environment look like that? And then, I don't know. Is that a good concept or is that stupid? Because we can still easily do it. But I just need to decide like what the plan is, I guess, right? But yeah, I don't know. That's some of the things we're gonna have to decide on and work out. But see, now that I have barely any coal, it's gonna be really slow. I mean, not super slow, but you know, you can see as we run out of coal, it's really starting to to slow down. But that's the whole, like, trade-off, right? So you gotta continually fuel it up. And yeah, we got some effects from moving, like the train sort of wobbles around. And, yeah. Can't jump out anymore. You used to be able to just drop off the face of the earth. But yeah. So, let's figure out the player movement stuff. I don't know why it's stupid and bad right now. That's kind of frustrating. Because I don't know why... Why is the player slow, right? I don't know. I'm gonna close out of every other tab. I'm actually gonna reload the project just to make sure it's not some weird thing. Think you should make it so you can have different amounts of loads. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, that's like how many points you get, and like the load that you select will change like how damaged your train will get and stuff. So you could have like some kind of like radioactive dangerous load or something that's super heavy, like tungsten bricks or something. So it's like different loads will do different things to your train. Like negative things, right? But I thought that could be kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know why the player got slow. The jumping seems normal. I didn't do anything. It's just down here when we do the input stuff. Sprint mod. Maybe... No, I mean, I know it's not, because sprint mod will be 1. Whatever, I guess we'll just increase our move speed. It's definitely odd. Yeah, I don't know what's up. So move speed is 4, let's just double it to 8. I just hope it's not like we play at low FPS and all of a sudden we're lightning speed or something. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just that it's not adjusting for delta time. It's possible. Because it kind of seems like we're slower now. Still, even though I doubled the move speed, something's definitely odd right now. I think this is like a real thing. Let's, maybe let's add in some options so we can debug this and set the FPS. So let's go to the pause menu. That's inside of the player. You can lose some of the load and then, yeah, right? I think that could be interesting. Like if your like train is about to blow up, you can drop your cargo so it doesn't destroy everything. Working on an achievement system right now. Hey, nice. Users self-report completion. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so if I have any ideas, I'll let you know. I figured just like stuff that's just like basic progression stuff, like, I don't know, make a core gameplay loop or, right? Stuff that's probably a good idea to do anyways. Create an options menu maybe or something, right? Oh, for my game? So, yeah, achievement system. So I just self-report. Okay. So like I just give my own personal achievements and then I'd self-report on them like that. Which I could do. You can achievements in your game for people. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, for players. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. So, like, is that something that you'll just submit when you send in the game then? But no, that's a cool idea. I like having that because then it's like gives people like a little bit of a guide. Yeah, the create game options, awesome. Yeah, no, that'll be cool. I'll definitely think about those then. Yeah, because that'll help, like, yeah. Just so that, like, to make sure people, like, hit the goals and stuff you want them to, right? So, no, that'll be cool. Exciting leaderboards, let's go. Yeah, that would be nice for this kind of game, because this will, like, the distance that you go is the whole idea, right? So it's really easy to integrate that in a leaderboard type of thing. Is that something that players will just, like, enter in themselves? Yeah, that's a good idea. Cool. Yeah, those would be really nice. I think that'll make the rating process like just way more fun and easy. And also good for the people that made the game too, right? So yeah, that'll be cool. Let's see, I'm just thinking how I want to do this. I don't want to set a size on the pause menu. I think I'll just create a margin container. Just call this options. Just save it in here, options. And then this will have all of its stuff in here. Another margin. Set that to like 100. This one will have 15 margins. Okay. So this is our options menu. Add a label. I also want to get a font in the game. I believe I saw in the rules that I can get fonts. I don't have to make them. Thank God. So yeah. Okay, cool. Because yeah, making fonts is a nightmare. It's so time consuming and hard, so I'm glad that we can pick one. Then did I also see that you can do shaders too online? And that includes for ODA, right? Okay, cool. Because yeah, shaders are also hard. So I'm glad about that. Because I wanted to do a highlight shader for like when you mouse over something you can interact with, but I wasn't sure if like I was allowed to. But that's good to know. Okay, so this will be our FPS slider. It'll just go from 240 to 0. For both those, tend to be things you make once and use forever. Exactly right, yeah. That's good then. So if it's on 0, I'll just make it so that if it's... Yeah, if it's on 0, it'll be unlimited. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this a script. Function ready, function process. So value is gonna be equal to, it's like engine dot max FPS. Yeah, then you can do set max FPS. So then we can do on value changed, say engine.set max FPS to value. Or no, not on changed. We want to do on value changed. Okay. Wish I could figure out how to code. Tried to figure it out. I'm not a coder. That's totally fair. Coding is definitely, it can be tricky because it's weird, you know. It's kind of like learning a new language, but then also like learning about like math and logic and all that stuff at the same time. So it is definitely like difficult. It's not easy for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I go to the math and logic stuff. Yeah, it just takes a lot of practice, you know. I mean, that's why people have to go to school and stuff to learn it. I mean, not that you have to, but it definitely for a lot of people makes it way easier, right? But yeah, it's for sure difficult. Let's see, I'm gonna make the options visible, and then I'm just gonna make that and the color rect both not visible. 55, so tough to learn text sometimes. Yeah, no, I could totally see that. Like, I imagine when I'm 55, it'll probably be hard to learn about all the whatever the kids got these days. Oh, yeah, see, so I have confirmed that that's why the player is slow. So when the FPS is super low, as you can see, we are just crawling. So that's why I added that slider, so we can actually figure this out. So why is that happening then? Because I thought velocity took into account delta stuff, but I guess not. So let's see here. When we are holding that right here, we're gonna say if that plus that is less than our move speed times sprint mod, then velocity plus equals. I think it's because, yeah, we're not multiplying by delta. And we're also not multiplying by our move speed, which seems like a problem. So let's see if that works. I'm just checking to see if it's the same speed at high FPS, which it looks like it is. I'm gonna separate this up into having two different things. So we're gonna have max move speed, so that's like our upper limit, and then move speed is essentially our acceleration. So like max move speed, that's gonna be pretty high up. We're probably also gonna increase our acceleration. So now we're just gonna say this is less than max move speed. So if that plus this times move speed, and let's just also multiply it by sprint mod. So we multiply by move speed and sprint mod, and if that's less than maximum move speed times sprint mod, then we do it. Let's just do that. Okay. So let's give that a try. That should be pretty consistent, hopefully now. Yeah, so of course it's still going to be really slow, but we're getting there. So, but see now if we're at like 0 FPS, then... we don't move though, still. So that is an issue. For some reason, I don't know why that's doing that though. Velocity plus equals... You know... Might actually be our velocity lerping down here. We have to say 1 minus power 0.0001 to the power of delta. Because on very low deltas, that's probably messing up. Yeah. So there's that one. Okay. That's probably what it was. But it's still good to adjust for delta in our acceleration anyways, so... So let's weigh up our maximum move speed to like 256 or something. And try that out. So let's see how that is. Okay, still incredibly slow. Let's check low FPS. But it is the same speed, so that's the whole idea here. Let's make that like... I don't know, 4096 or something crazy. And then move speed will be like 512. Let's try that out. Snooze the ad. Get the commitment, you'll get it. Yeah, it just takes practice, but I do think that anybody... Whoa! Okay, that's a little too fast. I went up way more than I thought. But yeah, I think anybody can learn. It's just a matter of like, how dedicated are you, right? And yeah, the math and logic stuff, it's always going to be difficult. I think it's difficult for anybody, regardless of age or anything, right? So it's just a matter of being consistent with it and believing in yourself, right? That's the biggest thing. Whoa, I'm bouncing around. Okay, so this is obviously way too fast, but I'm just like making sure. So then if we're at a low FPS, it should be the same speed. It's approximately the same speed. It's never going to be 100% perfect, but this is close enough to where I don't think you'd really notice it very much, right? Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now with that set up, we can go ahead and lower that back down. Let's go to 2048, so half speed might be good. Okay, still way too fast. Let's go to 1024. Half again. See how that is. Okay, that seems like the same speed, doesn't it? Was it because of what max move speed is? So, okay, what we're saying is if our velocity, x and z, plus input x, input y, times move speed and sprint mod. It's probably because we're not multiplying it by delta. Let's try that. Okay, so that's still super fast. I mean, we do have, like, acceleration. I guess let's just need to lower... Let's try lowering this one a lot to see if this works. Says GD script? Yes, it is, yeah. It's a lot like Python. Okay, so that significantly lowered our speed, which is odd. This is gonna be janky to get perfect. So why did that lower our speed? Also, I only want to say if is on floor to lerp our velocity down. Is it just because I have that way too low? Maybe. But yeah, GD script, honestly, I think is a pretty approachable language compared to a lot of others. It's pretty easy to learn, you know? Okay, I think I see what's happening here. So our lerping to 0, as you can see, based off of our maximum speed, is causing us to slow down. Whoa. So we have to fix that. But how is the question. Choo-choo. Yes, sir. I'm liking GD script. I didn't even realize it was white space format instead of brackets for a few days. Hell yeah. Yeah, what's up? What's going on? Welcome in. How have you been doing? Let's see. So this is not working out here. Because that's going to lerp it down to 0. I mean, I guess what we could do is just say if we're moving, then don't lerp the velocity to 0. Well, we'll just do this, I guess. If input is not equal to vector 3.0. Oh, but then the issue that I had with that was, oh. Yeah, it starts, we'll just have to balance it. Get the right speed. So I guess we won't even have a maximum move speed, because I think that implies this false sense that things have a maximum speed. Because essentially our lerping is what handles our maximum speed. When I start 3D stuff, I mean, I haven't done a lot of 3D stuff. I've modeled a bunch in Blender, but I haven't made a full 3D game before. So this is kind of new right now. But now's the skill. Yeah. It's kind of hard, but I'm getting there. It's going all right so far. I'm just modeling stuff and trying to get this player movement working normal. It's almost there. I mean, I think just need to increase our speed a little bit. Let's go to 128. Try that out. Okay. That's pretty good, because that's sprinting, and then walking is like that. I think that'll work. Yeah, and then like the momentum feels pretty good. It doesn't feel like way too slidey or anything. I think that'll work out. Yeah. Okay. That'll work then, I think. Cool. So now I'm not stupid and slow. Come on, great. Yeah, I think it's going pretty good. We just gotta add in gameplay and more decisions, right? Like I want people to be able to choose cargo and stuff. So yeah, I think that'll help really just make it more fun. I wonder if you add in levers and some valves on pipes, if you have to adjust flow and such. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It could be cool. I don't want to overcomplicate it and make it like too difficult. So maybe we'll just have to see like where we're at once we get the basics in. And then see if we want to add in extra stuff like that with the flow and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, well this is working pretty well now. Player movement's normal. Maybe it's not that slidey. I think it's okay. I just don't want it to feel like you're on ice. Oh yeah, that sound. That's a little too intense. I need to change it. It's hard to make sounds. I had ice in my bottle, so it sounds like there's ice now. I think I might need to change that. So yeah, you can see the water goes down. It definitely drains way too fast. And I think the coal also drains too fast, and I think our distance is way too short. So there's a bunch of things I'm gonna change. First off, let's make it so our distance goes up way more. So that's handled in the lever. So that'll do 100 every time. Let's do 1,000. So it'll be a kilometer. And try that out. Yeah, I gotta just have as it drains. I just had to think of like the reason for it though. I guess that's where I'm like thinking, right? Because like why would you make it lower, and like how would that affect the system, right? Because I want to make sure with this stuff that like if you change the water flow or something, there has to be a consequence of that, right? Because I think that's the whole idea of this game, is that it's a very interconnected system. Everything kind of affects everything, you know? Your cargo affects your coal and water and random different things, and how fast you're consuming your coal affects your water draining. So water draining would have to affect something else. Yeah, computer system. I'm thinking of adding in like a little computer in this main room. In the middle one. Just over here on the side or something, so you can like select your cargo and stuff when you're at a station. So I think that'd be good. Right out of coal. Yeah, definitely need to decrease the consumption rate just so it's not an absolute pain to try and keep this maintained. I mean, obviously that's the whole idea, is that you have to continually fill it with coal, but I also have to make sure that it's not so fast that you don't have time for the water, and then also to repair holes in the train and stuff, so it's just gonna be a lot of balancing. Yeah, because I think the style of train build the boiler at the station. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, I don't think it actually, like, you had to fill it up with a tank. I don't think that's how that worked. But it's fine, because I'm not trying to be real here, you know? This is just for gameplay's sake. So I think it's okay. I do need to add some tracks on the bottom here, because obviously right now it's just ground. So that's something. Yeah, this like a kilometer distance definitely feels a little bit better. I'm probably gonna increase it even more as time goes on, so maybe it's like it multiplies by a certain amount depending on what like distance you're at. Or maybe you choose the route, like maybe different because like another thing I want too is like planning the next mission or whatever, so you can like be in your terminal and choose like, okay, do you want to do the... That's not supposed to happen. Why was I able to fill up the coal even more? Oh, that's why. You can overload the coal. Look how fast we're going now. I do have to fix that. That's a little bit of a bug. I need to just... I'm doing it in a stupid way. I need to just make it clamp. Now you see my secrets. The coal being consumed is just vertically moving. But I'm moving quick. You can see my secrets over there now. Okay, so let's fix some of these quick little bugs here. So for the coal consumption business with the shovel, that's inside of the furnace script. So I'm just gonna say this. Add the coal level and then say global.manager.coal level. Let's just say this is equal to clamp F, the coal level 0, and global.manager.max coal level. That's a little bit better. Should make this full game if it goes well. I mean, I could, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know what my plans for this game are gonna be. We definitely could make it like a full thing. But I don't know. I wonder if I should finish Starground first. I don't know. I don't know what Graham wants. So I'll have to make sure on that before I do anything. But it would be cool. It'd be a pretty easy game to finish and make like a full thing, you know? Okay, this should be good now. Okay, so yeah, the terminal stuff, I guess that's gonna be sort of where you manage everything, like from your upgrades to selecting your cargo and all that stuff, probably. I kind of would like it if instead of like choosing your cargo though, it's like you're given 2 options and you must decide which one, right? So it's like, do you want to take this cargo or the other one? So it's like you don't have to go through a massive list of cargo and choose. Make a scary game about the tax man, yeah. I would like to make a horror game. That's honestly one of the reasons why I'm trying to practice more like 3D skill stuff, just to be able to make 3D games, right? Because I have ideas for 3D stuff that I just need to be better at 3D to do. But doing this game is already a really good experience, I think, for learning about 3D stuff. Like integrating the Blender files and stuff into the game is really nice. I'll probably do that. But yeah, it's just a good experience. Call you taxing me crazy, yeah. I can't do it for this jam because the theme is train, but you never know, maybe. Horror game about the tax man, yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty epic. Maybe. Okay, so I'm thinking actually we might have 2 screens. So we have like a little upgrade terminal. And then over here we just have a screen of like which cargo you want to select next, I think. I have time to add bee hopping. I don't know. I don't know if I'd get it to feel right. I mean, I could. I don't know how I would do it. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll see if I get time. But I gotta focus on like the gaming part, you know? Yeah, what do we need to do next? I mean, I guess honestly I think the next part is like the damage to the train and the fire and stuff. So like having a fire extinguisher and all that business. Because we need to be able to like lose. So I think that's the next step with our big wrench. Yeah. So to do that, I'm thinking about how I want to do that. I think I'm gonna just add some nodes around, and those are gonna be like the fire attachment points. So it's possible that fires can start in those locations. And then also the same for, or maybe fire just will like block a certain thing from being accessed, like the water thing or the water tank or the coal pile, you know, just so that it like prevents you from being able to use them, and that's what the fire does. I think that's a good idea, because then you know if there's a fire, it's kind of like it stops you from doing something, so it's like you have to get rid of the fire. Yeah. And then for the damage points on the train, that's where it'll have like the little holes. And then you have to go around and repair them. So I think that'll be good. Maybe you can have it so you need to plan to pick up supplies and you repair for the train. So low down south pay list, but the coal is cheaper for the train. Yeah. Yeah, see, I mean, there's tons of different like possibilities for stuff like that. For just adding in stuff like, yeah, making it so that like certain areas have different rates for water and coal. And I don't even know if water and coal are going to be like a managed resource, if you're going to have a certain amount of it or not yet. I don't know. But it's possible. I mean, that would be more of it'd make the game like a longer process. It'd almost be like a freaking, I can't think of the name. The funny caravan game. Why can't I think of the name? Oregon Trail. I don't know why that took so long. Because in that game you have to like manage your food supply and your resources and like it consumes, and you choose like the rate of speed. So it would be kind of like that, but for trains, you know? Which I do like the idea of. I think it's fun to have like a game where it's like you have to manage your stuff and you can upgrade things and make decisions. I don't know. Yeah, we could do something like that. I'll just have to see. I do like the illusion I got going on. It totally looks like the train's moving. It's not. Spoiler alert. I'm just moving the environment because it's way easier and then we don't have weird physics stuff happening. So, yeah. If only have so much time to deliver goods. Yeah, maybe add a train car to carry more. Yeah. Maybe. I guess that just starts to enter the realm of like, realistically, how much will I be able to get done? Because I've only got 3 days. Those are definitely cool ideas if I wanted to like continue working on the game, I think. I think right now, at least, is like, I'm just in sort of a full, like, locked into just getting the basics done, you know? Just so I can make sure that we have a working, playable game. Because that's always like a classic mistake with Game Jam stuff, is like throwing on a bunch of a bunch of features that you want to do, and then you realize, ah, shoot, I forgot to make the game fun. So I gotta be careful with that. But yeah, it could always be something for another time if I wanted to revisit it. I do think it has potential. I mean, I don't know. I guess the question is like marketability. If this were to be a full game, I don't know. Is this something that people would actually want to buy and play, you know? I don't know. But hard to say. I mean, if you do fast enough, then you can add new features. Well, yeah, right? I mean, that's the hope. It is also a balance between like new feature and polish toward the end of the jam. Like, do you spend the time to add in a new thing, or do you go make the other things feel better? So it's really it's a complicated situation. There's a lot of factors you have to think about, of like what should I be doing with my time right now, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to see how things go. That's really all you can do with Game Jam stuff like this. Because like, as long as we get the basics done and finished, then we can play around and add some more fun things. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and like get the damage points and all the fire and stuff. I think I'm gonna half the speed at which these things get consumed. So water level is gonna go down to 0.5, and coal level is gonna go to 0.25, I think. Honestly, maybe both will be 0.25. So I have this little system with this fire intensity thing. It's gonna be essentially how frequently fires will show up. So we're gonna add that in. So let's go ahead and do some damage points in the train. So essentially how this is gonna work is we're just gonna create like a bunch of nodes, and it's just gonna be an anchor point for which ones are damaged, right? So I'm just gonna create a node 3D and just call these damage points. And then as a child of this, I'm just going to create a static body with a little collision shape. And that's where we'll define our actual like damage thing. And that's going to have a mesh instance. Right now for that, I'm just going to do a sphere, but I'm probably going to make it look more interesting. And then just add a little collider with it so we can fix it. So this is going to be damage point. This is also going to have particle emitter. And that's going to be spewing steam. Just so it's really obvious when there is a hole. We could maybe even make it so that this does damage to the player. I don't know if that's what I want to do or not. So we'll have to see. But let's get rid of gravity. Gravity actually technically will be going up. And then direction, we'll just say down. Initial velocity, set that to like 20. Definitely more particles. Maybe half that, like that. Minimum velocity. Then for color and all that stuff, actually let's do scale first. So it'll start at 0 scale. And pretty quickly go up. And then time should only be like probably half a second or something. Maybe even less. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay, so material for this. Let's give that. So we're gonna use as albedo for that. It's gonna have transparency. So do alpha. Then I can just do this. But actually, I'm probably gonna do that in a color ramp. So that it fades out toward the end. Sort of like that, yeah. I think the spread is too much. Decrease that. And honestly, just probably increase the number of particles coming out. Looks pretty good. So on this damage point thing, I'm just going to create a scene. It's going to extend interactable. So on function... interact, and then also function check interact. So check interact will just return whether entity dot held item is the wrench. So did I learn to code first and then learn game dev in Godot? Yeah, I've been programming for a while. I first started out with GameMaker back in like 2017 or something. And that was just kind of learning on my own, just messing around. I wasn't very serious about it or serious about trying to learn and actually get better at things. And I think that's one of the like, you know, mistakes I made or whatever, is that I wasn't trying. But it's fine. You know, I was kind of too young, I feel like, to realistically like actually get good at things, so I think it's okay. But yeah, that was sort of my first entry into programming stuff. Initially I didn't do any programming. I was actually just doing like the art, but the other person doing the programming got to a point where it was so slow and nothing was happening that I just decided I'm gonna learn how. So yeah, that's sort of what happened. But yeah, then after that I kept messing around with GameMaker a little more. I worked on some other random projects that never actually got finished. And then eventually I started trying out like different engines and stuff. I finished Pogo Rocket for Steam with GameMaker, but then I went to Unity to start working on Bounding Main. And also around that time, like, ish is when I started going to college. So that was obviously a, I don't know if it was a big help in learning how to program, because if I'm being completely honest, college has its place, but it's not actually, I didn't learn that much. Like, yeah, I learned like the basic principles of things, but it didn't instill very much motivation to learn things into me, I guess, right? Like, motivation for learning, I think, is the most important part, and that is really like something you can only do just because you want to, I think, right? So I've always learned more about myself just because if you're motivated to learn, then you're gonna. I think it's just because you actually want to, right? Go to clown school? Nah, I'm done with school forever now. I probably won't do school ever again. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I probably won't ever get my master's because it just seems like a lot of like research focused stuff, which I don't really want to do. So I probably won't. But I don't know. I mean, I can't say absolutely no for certain, but probably no though. Okay, so there's all of our little points. So those will shoot around. So now we can modify those. So I'm just gonna say var active is false. Function set active. Status. Say active is status. Then also visible is equal to status. So visible by default will be function ready. We'll say visible is false. Yeah, I don't know. Clown school, it would be kind of epic to be a certified clown. I mean, I'm already clowning around all the time, but to be, you know, to have the clown degree, I think that'd kind of be another level, so. Okay, so then when we interact with this with the wrench, I want to make it so you probably have to do it multiple times or something, but I'll just say var level or something is 0. So every time we interact, I'm gonna say, let's see, if status level, or I'll just say, yeah, in here level 0. So every time we interact, I'm gonna say levels plus equals 1. If level is greater than 2, then we're gonna say set active false. And then also and here I'm gonna say what's the word? Scale is equal to 1 divided by level, and then I'm gonna clamp it to 0 and 1. Scale is equal to, because I have to say vector 3.111 times that. So let's see if that works. So by default, those should all be invisible. Hey, Satellix, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome in. What's going on? There's your shout out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What were you up to today on your stream? What's going on? Okay, so all those should be good to go. And then damage points. Yeah, that's where we'll figure all that out. Cool. Not much. Surprisingly decent day of dev behind me. Nice. Patched up the bot in the first half well enough to run. Nice. Did some gameplay dev. Yeah, killing bugs, everything's loopable. Nice. That's awesome. Cool stuff. Yeah, I've been working on a new game. I said jam and game at the same time. Gam. I've been working on a new game for a jam, which has been going pretty good so far. It's for the gams and jams. Yeah, it's for the Down2Jam game jam. But yeah, it's been fun. I've honestly really enjoyed working on another game, cause it's fun. No way I'm here on the thing. It's just really fun to be able to work on new stuff every once in a while, you know. Of course, I love working on Starground, but it's nice to take a break. Yeah, gamecation, exactly. But it's going good. The theme is train, so the idea that we have for our game is it's basically like a roguelite train game in a way, where like you have to manage your water and coal levels, and you eventually we're gonna add it so you can like choose what cargo that you carry through like a region. So if you carry more dangerous cargo, then that means you will make more money so you can upgrade things, but then otherwise yeah, it's a pretty interconnected game, I guess, in a lot of ways. Yeah, I'm just getting these little damage things set up, these damage points. What is it complaining about? It's not transformed, so I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it is. There we go. But yeah, it's going really well. I'll show you guys what we got going on in just a minute. I'm just making sure these are all set up. Cool. So let's load into the game. I'll show you guys. So, it's 3D. I haven't really done like I mean, I've messed with 3D. Like I've done 3D games, as in I never finished them or got very far with it. But this is the first time that I'm actually like fully locking into 3D stuff. The models suck right now. I know it looks bad, but these are mainly placeholders right now. Once we like get the gameplay set up and then I have time to, I'm gonna go through and really spice things up in here. But yeah, the whole gameplay loop is that you're on this train. You have to grab different tools to do different things. I'm gonna fill up my frickin' what's it called, the furnace or whatever, the boiler, for the train with coal. And then there's also water, so we need to grab the bucket and fill that up. But yeah, so that gets filled up, and then we can fill up our little water supply. So the whole idea is that if you are running I need to change that sound. If you're running your train without any water supply, then it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad time, you know. It'll start fires and stuff and break your train. So we can start the train moving along, and now we're on the track. We're going. So the whole idea is that there's gonna be like different distance checkpoints up at the top, right? So you've got to like the loop will be pick your cargo and survive the round, and then get money, purchase upgrades, and then it repeats forever, right? So that's the plan. Still a lot to do. This is day 2, so I think we'll still have plenty of time. I mean, I've still got Olaf Sunday, then half of Monday, so I think I'll be able to get it at a pretty good spot. It's hard to say, you know, because there's always like issues that come about that you don't realize and stuff, so I'll have to see. But yeah, the whole idea is that you just have to continually maintain this stuff. So like, okay, my water's running out, let's fill that up. And then depending on your cargo and stuff, that will, you know, change sort of how your train operates. So some cargo might be really heavy and increase your coal consumption, so you constantly have to keep it refueled. You know, stuff like that. And then maybe some cargo is like, I don't know, really hot or radioactive or something, and it drains your water. We'll just have to see. I think there's all sorts of fun combos that we can do with that. being like a roguelike kind of game, I think it'll be like easy to add a lot of gameplay time, because we just have to throw in a couple different mechanics and options, and then that's gonna greatly expand like what kind of run you get, right? Because depending on what cargo you got and what upgrades you decide to go with or whatever, it's gonna change things a lot. Yeah, jamming is wild stuff. It is. It's hard. Jamming's definitely a whole different like way of making games than just a regular full-on game, you know, because there's so much stuff to do. But thank you for the hydrate, I appreciate it. But it is kind of fun. It's not a massive commitment, you know, which is nice. I think as long as you go into it knowing that it just has to be a small little game, then it doesn't, it's not usually too bad. I always overscope and refuse to cut features. Yeah, that's always the struggle with game jams, is just trying to gauge yourself, right? Be like, okay, how much can I realistically get done and stuff, you know? It's like, it's always difficult. But I think doing a bunch of them and just having experience doing game jams really helps, because then you start to get to a spot where like, okay, I know what I can do given a 3-day game jam based off of what I did last time, so I can scope around that, right? I'm probably over-scoping a little bit, if I'm being honest. But I think it's, the idea is solid though, just because the gameplay loop is very simple, so I think it's something that I can get implemented and working at the very least, right? The only thing that might be lacking toward the end is just some polish and maybe like more depth. But I feel like, you know, how much depth can you realistically expect from a jam anyways? It's hard to make a full-on 10-hour experience with, you know, in 3 days. You can't really do that. So I think it's okay. As long as people can get at least like an hour, 30 minutes out of it, I feel like that's probably fine, you know? Just to be able to play a little bit, get the general concept. I think it's fine. Yeah, I like to do more and get to that point, but so far I'm just identifying, oh yeah, I overscope every time, yeah. Well, hey, that's good though, that you realize, right? Because that's honestly kind of the first step toward getting better at gauging work like that, right? It's just realizing that you do. Because I think it really makes you think about it every time, where it's like, oh yeah, I always do this. Let's try not to do it, all right? You gotta realize the problem first, so yeah. Yeah, like, and polish your depth is perfect, because it means you got everything else in. Yeah. Yeah, polish is always tricky with game jam stuff, because it takes a really long time. Polish can take like 50% of your time working on a game, or more. So we got an ad starting 1 minute, my apologies. But I do think it goes a long way with stuff like this, though. It definitely makes it, you know, nice. Okay, so let's get the, the damage points working. So I have it, set up with... I don't know how I'm gonna do the damage. I mean, I could just make it so that it causes damage if you run your train without water. But I kind of want fire to be another mechanic that stops your stations from working. Right? So I think, I don't know, how do I want to do this? I'm trying to think about this from a gaming perspective, a balancing perspective, right? Like, how do we make this fun? Here's my epic icons, guys. What do you think? It's so hard to draw icons like this, but I have to. Okay, so sort of what we have set up. We've got the coal. We've got our water over here. So coal just requires the coal pile. Water requires the water pile. So coal doesn't really affect water, I guess, but water does affect coal. Oh, actually, coal does affect water, doesn't it? I think I have it set up so that it consumes faster if you're using more coal. Yeah. Okay, so they do affect each other, so I mean, that's good. But now the damage stuff, so I presume if either one of these gets, right, so let's say that you run out of water, then that's where the damage will start. But I also, like, have the fire idea. Maybe the fire idea is not necessary. As much as I like your train setting on fire, maybe the fire thing can be like a separate mechanic. I think if you run out of water, maybe that's where it starts to damage your train and things burst open. Because we just need a reliable way for that to happen, I guess, right? Now, another thing too is when your coal runs out. Right now, there's not really a downside to running out of coal, which is kind of probably not a good idea. I guess the downside is that it just slows your train down. So it means that it's going to take longer for you to finish, and then that means there's just more chance for things to go wrong. Right. So this will just be the speed down icon. Then maybe what we need to do is make it so that water is constantly being consumed even if you don't have the coal active. Just so that's like a thing that you always have to keep going. So that the slower you go, the worse things are because you still run out of water and it does damage to your environment. Maybe that's the play here. So I'll just comment that out. I think that's going to be good. And then maybe even station set on fire too is just an additional thing, so maybe you need to look at speed controls. If you're running uphill with a heavy load, you need to increase the fire. Yeah. Yeah, that's another possibility, right? There's all sorts of little things you could do with that. I'm gonna get the core gameplay loop set up, I think, with just like train getting damaged and stuff like that, and then once that's sort of set up, that's when we can look at more not customizability, but you know what I mean, like being able to do stuff like that. Side mechanics. Okay. So with this, essentially, this is just going to start increasing the fire intensity. I'm just going to run a loop over here. We're going to say, I don't know, let's do a timer. I think for this is going to be the best way. So this is going to be our damage timer, and that's going to run every 1 second, auto start, and on timeout. Let's do that. So we're going to say damage timer dot start. So every time that this runs, essentially we're going to check if randef range let's see. Zero to 1 is less than our fire intensity. So if our fire intensity is at 1, then it will always be every time. So then in here, this is where we can say to start activating our things. So I'm gonna have a function inside a train. This is just gonna be function activate damage, right? So it's gonna loop through all the things in here. We'll go ahead and do that, but first off, let's say train.activate damage. So that will go ahead and create a little damage node. So over on our train in activate damage, we are going to loop through our list of damage points here. So for damage and damage points, actually let's do this. Our children is equal to damage points dot get children. So I think we're just gonna do this. Var, we'll just say while true. No, we don't want to do that. Oh, let's just do this. Children dot shuffle. There we go. And then now we say for I and children. Yeah, see, so we can say for damage and children. Now we say if damage dot. So if it's not active, go ahead and say damage dot set active true, and then return. Yeah. So since it shuffles every time, it'll always be a random point that gets damaged. So yeah, that should work. Yeah, watch those bad damaged children. Yeah, that always happens when you mess with children in programming. It always ends up being bad. Sounds really bad and horrific. Yeah. Anyways, so it'll say if damage is not active, set active is true. Yeah, that should work. So this will just randomly select one to be active. And then I also have to have another return condition. Or I guess I don't need to because it doesn't matter. That just returns early, but... Okay, so this should work. We're going to see what happens here. Hopefully it does, though. Ooh. So what should happen is if we run the train without any water, it's going to start fires. Or not fires, but the little steam things, you know? And we still need sounds for all those. I do actually have a sound for a steam thing that I just made by going like... So, we can use that. We're gonna need to add in a bunch of more sounds, but it's okay. So if we go ahead and run this, I'm actually gonna print out our fire intensity just to know what it is, and see like what we think about the scaling and stuff. So obviously right now it's 0. Okay, so it's going up. It's already at 0.4. Okay, that's probably a little bit too fast. But yeah, we can see all the steam around. So yeah, I can hover over these and fix them. So it looks like they take like 2 repair hits. But they should keep popping up. Okay, it's throwing a billion errors. What's going on? Oh. Invalid transform? Oh, it has a scale of 0. That can't happen, I guess. Let's fix that. So back into our damage point. We have to say whenever we set it to active, we're going to say scales equal to vector 3, 1, 1, 1. Is the banking noise? Oh, the banging noise. That's the footsteps. Yeah. I'm probably going to change those eventually too. Okay, so this is 1.0 divided by level. So if it's at like level 0, it should pick 1. Or it should pick 0. No, what will it pick? No, it should pick 1, I think. Okay, but I think it's just because it was dividing by an int, and then turning into 0. Let's see if this fixes it. go get some coal. Start that going. Okay. Looks like that's working. Let's fix these, make sure they reappear and stuff. Oh yeah, that works now. Cool. Nice. Yeah, I just wanted to make it so, like, shrink so you know that you're, like... So, like, one of them can be sort of half repaired or whatever. Obviously, since our score is so high, it's pretty insane. Yeah, I don't know if I'll let it go all the way up to, like, being 1 full point, because that is really high. First things first is we're going to decrease the speed at which this increases, because 0.1 is way too fast. So let's try 0.01 maybe. So if I go ahead and fill up the water, it should stop all these from appearing. Like, they'll still be there. We have to fix them, but it should, yeah. So that value got reset back to 0, so now we can go around and fix them. Yeah. Okay. I think that'll work. Cool. So yeah, now that they're all fixed, we're good. So we can now kind of get those hooked into the train health system, right? So on these, I'm just gonna say while active, you know, and process. So function process. If active, we're gonna say global.manager.train health minus equals 0.1 times delta. Hey, thank you so much for the raid. Mariner, welcome in. How's it going? What's going on? Maybe a shout out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome in, everybody. We're currently working on a little game jam game here. But what were you up to today on your stream? What's going on? Okay, so that should decrease the health over time. And then also on check interact, if entity is a wrench and active. But yeah, welcome in, everyone. We are working on a jam right now. It's a little hectic in here right now because of all the steam, but this is for the Down2Jam. It's a jam that started yesterday. But it's going pretty good. I'm currently just getting these little damage points sort of set up. For some reason we are taking... It's still increasing in our damage. Is it actually doing that, or is it just printing? Okay, it's just printing. Oh, I think it can also technically happen... Yeah, I gotta make it so that it can't happen when it's 0, I think. Clean up tech debt. I can't talk today. Cleaning up tech debt. Working on a project that will be open source in a few days. Lots of things to get in order. Nice, that's awesome. I always think open source stuff like that's really cool. I would love to make some more open source stuff. I've always thought about like going back with old games and stuff that I have and just making them open source, because why not? Yeah. The footsteps are a little loud. I need to just change their like sound profile in Premiere or something. Yeah, see, these are still opening. They're not supposed to, I don't think. Why is it Oh, it's because our train is active and we're out of water. Okay, so yeah, no, that's actually normal. That's supposed to happen. Yeah, so the water will consume any time that the train is on, so it's kind of like you want to fuel it up as fast as you can so that you don't Yeah, anyway, so this is the game I've been working on. The theme for the jam is train, so I'm just trying to balance the damage stuff right now. So essentially what this game's about is that you're in your little train, you have to keep your boiler fueled so that you can keep moving and get to like the next checkpoint. And you're sort of managing your water and your coal levels. So you're filling up the system with coal and making sure that you always have enough water in the system. I need to fix the water sound also. Because if you run out of water, then all these little damage points around your train appear. I still need to like create a model for it. It's not going to look like that, but so far things are going pretty good. It's just right now I'm just trying to get all the main like gameplay stuff set up. So yeah, things have been going pretty good. Yeah, so I got like the bucket and the wrench set up. I think that's a nice little cycle. I'm trying to like think about how I want the gameplay to kind of relate to each other, right? So it's sort of like this now, actually, where water will... I guess these are kind of different systems. So essentially you have to fill up the water, and then if you don't fill up the water, it creates the damage points. And if you don't fill up the coal, it lowers your speed. So coal you kind of want to keep up because, well, if you're not moving, then you're just sitting there consuming water, so it's bad, right? So that's sort of how I'm balancing, preventing people from just sitting there and not doing anything. Because if there isn't like a constant passive drain on something, then it means that there's kind of not really a real reason to do anything or to play the game. Because then otherwise it's like, okay, well, why am I filling up the train? I might as well just kind of sit here and just not do anything. So but yeah, seems to be working pretty well though. With that working, I just need to get like the health system set up with the train. I need to add some elements on the UI for like keeping track of your coal and water and all that stuff. Were those graphics all made in / with Godot? No, so I modeled all this stuff in Blender, and then I just saved the blend file to be inside of Godot. It's actually a really nice way to do modeling stuff with the Godot because you don't have to like export every single model and constantly have to re-export it whenever you make a change. I can just save the blend file, and whenever I make a change on the blend file, it just updates. So it's actually very nice. I do love that Godot has support for that. Yeah. Okay, my water's running out. But yeah, super convenient. It makes developing 3D stuff like this just so much easier, you know? Okay, we're running out of coal. Yeah, you can see like now with the water being more of a serious threat, it's like there's a reason to keep things moving. So yeah, the water will just constantly consume, which I think it feels right, because there needs to be a reason to. Okay. Cool. Well, things are coming along. I kind of wanted to add some distance fog. I do have some, but obviously not enough because I can see the edge of the world. So maybe we'll actually do that right now. So in our node, we have fog enabled. Do I just have to increase the density? Oh yeah, there we go. Now I can fade out to nothing. I'll probably make the ground the same color as our fog. So let's go do that. So if we go into here and our sky, ground, bottom color, make it that color. There we go. So now you can see it just sort of fades out into nothing over there. Maybe the ground needs to be a little bit darker. Looking at it, you know? I think I could do that. That looks pretty good. Because it just kind of fades out into like a, you know, nothing over there. Instead of it being visible. But yeah, this feels pretty good. I need to do like a actual material for the coal. Right now it's just black, but I kind of want to do like a sort of a shiny, you know, coal look. It would be really cool if we almost had like a painterly effect on some of the materials in this game. We'll see, because creating materials like that can be really time consuming, so I don't know if I'll actually get time to, but it would be nice. So we'll have to think about that. I do like the effect the fog gives though, because it kind of makes this environment look way bigger than it is. You just can't see past the horizon because it's fogged out. So I think that's nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's going good. The damage points. Let's add in the UI elements, because I think that's going to help a lot with managing all your things. Because you can see, like, what's low. So I'm just going to create a little gauge sprite. This is going to be relatively straightforward. Actually, let's start with 512, because I'm going to split it in half. And I could 3D model it, but that's kind of a lot of work right now, so I'm probably not going to do that. So we're just going to do that. We're going to get kind of a brassy bronze color. Something like that. Then we're just going to cut it in half. So by 256 right here. So there's our gauge. Then inside of here, we're going to create another half circle. So this one will be almost 256 or 512, but a little bit less. So we'll go down to 384. Among Us. 384 by 384. And now we're going to have to, you know, center it and stuff. So that is going to go to there. Now, I don't know about horizontal centering. It's always hard to tell. I don't know if this is in the center or not. Okay, it needs to go one to the... Are we in the center? I think we are. Well, I can just say accept that and then object align horizontal center. Okay, so this will be our gauge. It's just gonna kind of show us like where we're at with things. I would like to do little bolts around here, just until it looks right, something like that. So actually grab that color. Okay, but brighter. Something like that. Then for the brighter color, probably make it a little more orange. I've never really created assets like this way, you know what I mean? I've always just done pixel art or whatever, but it's interesting like I'm doing it in this way. Like high-res stuff, you know? Because I've just never done it. But it's kind of interesting though. I don't hate it. So, you know. Just like that, and then we'll go ahead and duplicate and flip it. Okay. So those are our bolts. Then on these, we're just gonna recolor black. I don't know if we're gonna do like an outline on these. Probably not. But just like that, I think honestly looks kind of cool. I think it'll work. So let's see here. Trying to think how I could. I want to add like a shadow in here. I need to make this like go above, honestly. But then I need to figure out like how can I make this part like mask this. This is where it gets a little complicated. Because I want to like select this and like apply this as transparency to this layer, but I don't really know how to do that. I'm trying to think if there's a way to do that, like, because I know I can mess with like alpha in here, right? So maybe that's how I would do that. Like that. Or maybe what I do is this. I mean, this is one idea. Is I just recolor this to be pure green. I don't know if this is going to work. And then I paste that onto this layer. And then on this layer, we will go to the green curve and get rid of it. But the issue is it doesn't do alpha, so it doesn't really help. I mean, we can go into advanced, because we could say in is green, and then out is alpha. I mean, that just gives us a solid green circle. Maybe in is alpha, and out is green or something. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It doesn't really work. Oh well. I think it's fine. We'll just make do. And then also one thing I wanted to do on here too was let's snooze this ad. Make it so that it has like zones. Which we'll have to think about how to do that. Because like for the water, it's always a good thing to have water. How could I slice up a semicircle into 3 sections? Right? I don't know. I mean, I know they have an arc shape in here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't know how I would actually do that then. I mean, I guess just go down here to the center and just define a point and give it a certain angle like that. And then make the other point of it that color. That's probably the way to do it, I guess. I guess so. I don't know. Then I can just say over here is red. You know, or actually do recolor. Up the tolerance all the way. Okay, that doesn't work. I could just crop it, I guess. I don't know. This is the issue. Is like I just haven't created assets like this before, so I don't actually know how. There's probably like a better way to do this with some kind of program that I'm just not using, you know? That I definitely should use, but I don't know how. See, I can't do global mode because... I mean, you can just go along and select it, but... I wish I had a pen tool in Paint.net. That would make this way easier. I just want to make this zone red. I guess if I do one of them, it means I can do all of the others, so whatever. Let's just go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go to Object, Curves Plus, and I know there's a way to change it to a color I want. Recolor doesn't do a very good job, apparently. Because it kind of works, but it doesn't, so... I don't want to use Paint Bucket tool. Actually, I think I have a filter for that, and color, maybe? Kill color? That's not what I want. But that is a way to maybe do like an outline thing over here. Let's duplicate it though. Let's see if that's something we could do. Then in here we can just say color, kill color, white. Okay. But it doesn't actually like get rid of the pixels. So that doesn't really help. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's all bad. I'm just too stupid. I don't know how to do it right. I mean, how can I separate this into quadrants, you know? Because I know this is the center. So I can grab there and then go to a diagonal like that. And that kind of works, but I mean, I can just paint bucket tool, I guess. It looks bad though, because you get that like bleed through, right? And now it's all jagged. You'd think there'd be a way to do it, but do I have any kind of thing in here? I mean, what's something like, what's this? Gradient mapping? Or like, what's, I mean, can I just do this? I guess this is what I would do. So just reset everything and just lower these to nothing so that it's red. But there's still like white bits on the edge, so... Oh, it's because there's one below. And then now I can just delete these parts. And since it's a color, it means I can just hue shift it. And I guess this is one method. It seems bad and dumb, but... But now it's like, how do I get a clean line? Man. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a better way to do this. I guess I could get a clean line by using the line tool. I didn't really think about that. So I could just sort of... Well, I don't want to mess it up that bad. Just like very roughly get the edge cleaned up. Then go over it with the line tool to kind of fix it up. I guess. Like that. And then we just adjust the width of it. Oh god. Let's go to 2 width, 3 width. I mean, that looks pretty good. The method in which I used was absolutely terrible, but it's fine, I guess. It works, right? And then now I can just say layers, flip horizontal. And now I have the regions. All right, whatever. Now this one, I'm gonna do a hue shift. God, I almost wonder if it would be easier to do this in Blender. Just because of how stupid and tricky this is, you know? Then lower the saturation. Probably should have done this in Blender. But it's done, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. Let's do it in Blender. I'm just gonna have way more freedom to do it in the way I want if I do it in here. This will take like a second in here. I don't know why I was stupid and did it in the other, you know, traditionally. I don't know, man. I need to take advantage of my tools, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, boom. We got the semicircle. Now all we do is grab the center, inset it by, like, 0.1 or something. Maybe a little more, 0.2. Nope, 0.15. Okay, boom. Now we extrude it down so that it's inset. And let's also just go ahead and rotate it. Okay, that rotated absolutely horribly. Get our camera. Set it to 0, 90, 0, 0, 0. So now we can see sort of our, right? Zoom it in. Yeah, this is just better, honestly. Because now I can make it look all cool in 3D. And then now, if we want to go ahead and do the segments, it's super easy, because we just, like, grab that, like that. And we're done. We did it. Now we're just going to assign brass. Assign that to everything. Now we need white. Assign it to that. Oops. There we go. Assign that there. This one will be... Oops, that one will be green, actually. And then this one will be red. So red gets assigned over there. Green gets assigned over there. Look how easy that was, guys. Come on. And now we're already there. We just have to go ahead and add in, like, our bolts and stuff. But look, we got the lighting and stuff already configured for us. So much easier. See, I can just, like, do that. Modify the rotation of it a little bit. Actually, probably do like that. I don't know why this is so incredibly bright. But just like that, and we're basically there. And our little meter thing can be a separate sprite. It's gonna have to be. That's fine. Okay. So let's mess with these colors a little more. This should be a little less saturated, I think. The brass color should be way less saturated and darker. Somewhere like around there, maybe. So for that, it's going to be metallic. Not very rough. I would like some scratches on that or something. Let's just quickly do that. So, what different textures do I have here? Checker, Voronoi. We could probably do Voronoi. Put that into a... not a mix. A color ramp. Distance into there. Color will be into our normal. So we need another normal node now. Or is it normal map? I think so, yeah. Okay. Might have to be in cycles. Oh god, oh god. Ooh. Okay. Does that go into color? Oh, there we go. That doesn't seem right, though. We'll mess with that. So now we can mess with the scale and all that business. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything, though. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Tangent space. Object space. Maybe that's what it is. Can I do world space? There we go. Now we can see the Voronoi. So for this, we just want a very slim... just the bottom part, I guess. Could look like a hammered bronze. Here we go. Normalized actually kind of works. Just have to sort of find the area that we want. I mean, it does look kind of okay. It's a little weird, though. I don't know why the normal's working like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I probably am. Probably. I mean, if it's smooth, does that look normal? No, it's a little weird. Let's just do displacement. And then throw that in. Actually, let's just... I think I can go straight into height. So for this, I do have to go to cycles. It's gonna kill my computer. Go to GPU! Oh yeah, let's get out of render view. I'm an idiot. There we go. Now it's actually, like, working. Oh yeah, so those are, like, divots. So probably something like that. Maybe we will increase the detail. And increase the scale so it's smaller. Kind of like that, I guess. I don't know if that's quite what I want, but... it'll work, whatever. Okay, so first off, the lighting is stupid and bad. I don't think I'll make it that metallic, because this is just a UI element after all. I mean, maybe we make it metallic and not rough at all. No, we'll give it a little bit of roughness. It's not as metallic. Let's make the sun a little brighter. I don't want this element to be too dark. And then if we're doing that, let's go ahead and bump up the saturation on these. And honestly, what we could do is just grab all these and set it just a tad, just like 0.02 or something. Then we can select these outer areas. And just make those black. There we go. So now we just have a little bit of contrast. I think that'll work. Now, for this, do we want to do perspective or orthographic? Orthographic will probably be a little better, just so that we don't have weird issues. Right there. Maybe let's go ahead and just raise that up. And then drag all these nodes down. Might actually just extend it down like that, and then... I don't know about the inside here, though. Because that doesn't look good. Well, I guess we'll do that, but then give it a loop cut for those two spots. And just say scale on the x-axis. Just like that. All right, so what's the output resolution? This is a 1920 by 1080. So what's a good resolution for this? What about 640 by 360? That's still pretty big, honestly. Now, where's the one, the list of true? Here we go. Let's go 256 by 144. And now in our render settings, let's do Gaussian, or yeah, let's do that, but then lower, 0.5. Transparent. Let's see what that looks like. We can always modulate this more in Paint.net, like to adjust the colors and stuff if we want. So, which we might do. So now I can just copy it. Let's go into here. Just make sure it sort of looks the same brightness. And also let's you know, crop it a tiny bit. I don't know if the 3D is the look. I kind of like the 2D. Maybe the 2D is the play? I don't know. Let's mess with the 2D first. I'm just kind of curious to see what that looks like. So let's get out of render view. Okay, anyways, let's actually implement this stuff because we need to get moving here. It's almost 7 o'clock already. Yeah, it did start really late today, so I'm probably gonna have to end off stream early, unfortunately. But I'll go as long as I can. Alright, so on our player, on the canvas layer, we're gonna add those elements in. So in here we have the top bar. I'm just gonna add a new margin. And this is gonna be the bottom bar. And make it not a child of the top bar. So bottom bar will be bottom wide. And we're gonna add in our texture rects. So that's gonna be our dial. Obviously not that big. Keep aspect centered. And then fit height. Let's just do ignore size. Now I can define how tall I want it to be. So I don't want these to be enormous. We'll start with like 48 or something and see how that's looking. I actually do kind of like the flat style. I think, yeah, I think it's actually kind of good. It's not too distracting. Let's do shrink center. And this we'll do fit width. No, fit height. Nope. Keep size? No. Fit width? Ah. Let's just do that and then set the width. Fit height. It's not really what I want. I guess fit width, and then we just do... Why does it do it like that? Fit width proportional. There we go. So now I can say it's 48 pixels tall. There we go. All right, let's add a H box in here with our two texture rects. Just keep them centered for now. Copy, paste as a sibling. So this will be our coal dial. And this will be our water dial. And then on these are just going to have like two little arm thingies. Which we could probably just do with like a line or something. Or a color rect. Right? Like this. And then layout for anchors, we just say center bottom. So that when we rotate... Oh. Our pivot offset is stupid. Oh god, what did I just open? Okay. Pivot offset should be part of the size. So for size, let's go like pretty thin. 4. Then let's say 32 for the height. Yeah. Make it black. So it's half the size, so pivot offset will be 2, and then that'll be 32. So now when we rotate, yes, we can make it rotate correctly. So I'll just go ahead and call this, what do you even call that? Like on a dial, like the hand? I guess so. And then we'll probably have like an icon next to these or something so we know what it's actually representing. Or maybe it's in the dial. We could do that too, like where it's just a little icon in there. So we'll see. Anyways, let's make this work. So dial hand. Function process, so rotation will be equal to Let's see. Something plus something. So minus pi divided by 2 plus pi times global.manager.coal level divided by global.manager.max coal level. And I can actually do this. Yeah. This will actually be nice, so I can use the same script. Variable, and then a max variable. Okay, so now on both of these dials, I can just throw that on there. So for the coal, it's going to be coal level and max coal level. Boom, and then this one is going to be a water level. Max water level. And I can even make it lerp toward the position instead, so that if we add something in, it doesn't immediately snap. We can see. Okay, so we have none of either. So if we go ahead and fill it up with coal, it should go. Should do our thing. Let's see. Boom. Yep. If we do another one, it should go just a tad bit more. Boom. And if we do a third... Boom. So now you can see it move as the train goes. We probably do want to enable some, like, anti-aliasing for that. Just because it does look a little jagged. But it's also hard to tell if that's just because of I'm in the editor or whatever, right? So I don't know. I might need to increase the grab distance on the player a tad, but we'll see. Okay, that's nice. It's just a little indicator for where things are at, so that's good. Because now I can be like, okay, I can see where my coal level is. We can probably go start filling up on coal, right? So it's nice. I'm actually just going to drop the shovel there and wait. But yeah, this makes it pretty manageable, because now I can actually see what things are at. Which I think is a good thing. I mean, I debated heavily, right, like thinking like, should I let people see those stats just there out in the open, you know? Because is that the whole part of the game, is that you have to like go around and look? But I think it's probably a good idea. Okay. Let's make the progress bar look cooler. I'm honestly just gonna go ahead and create a theme. Let's call it main theme. And let's go set that in the defaults for theme. What is this? Set the custom theme. That's for the project, yeah. I hope this works. I hope it doesn't change my the Godot editor. Okay. Yeah, looks like we're good. So now inside of the theme, I'm just going to edit some things. So for our progress bar, let's modify that because it looks stupid. I do want an outline color, I think. So I'm gonna give this an outline color or outline size of like 10 pixels or something. Oh, that's for the font. Never mind. Let's just do background. A new flat box. And yeah, we could even do a whatchamacallit, a texture too, so maybe. Now border width, that's gonna be like our little border thing. So I might increase the size of this now. Where is it? There it is. Increase it to 24. Corner radius, let's also set that. So the background color will just be sort of a dark, our same brass color, because why not? So it'd just be that, but like dark. Cool. The anti-aliasing is a little heavy. There we go. And then now the fill one will be a separate thing. So it'll be a flat box. I guess on this we could have set expand margins, so like we could have said 4 pixels or whatever like that. But whatever. So this one will just be, I do like me some blue, you know, maybe, we'll see. Okay, so with this border radius thing, we can essentially give it like a shadow, which I think looks cool, because we can blend it. So like we can do this, right, where it has like a, which looks cool. So for expand margins, I think I want to say content margins -4. Okay, it doesn't seem like I can actually modify that. So I think we have to modify the other one, which is fine. 4, 4, 4, 4. There we go. And maybe lower the border width stuff a little bit. Maybe on the bottom it's smaller. So it's more like, yeah. No, that looks cool. We can also like skew this stuff, which is kind of fun. Which we could do. I don't know what we think about that, but we could say 0.5 skew or 0.25 skew. So it looks kind of like that, which is, it's kind of funky and cool, maybe. Oh, I didn't know there's a thing for shadow. Oh, but that's a shadow on the exterior, isn't it? Yeah, so we probably don't want to do that one. I mean, we could try it. We could disable the border stuff for a minute. See what it looks like. It's hard to see, it's so tiny. Nah, I like the border, it looks cool. And let's also make this not just a pure black. Put it towards the blue channel. Somewhere around there. Yeah, let's get rid of the shadow because it looks odd. All right, so for the background, though, we can do a shadow. Not a very big one, but just a little bit. Looks kind of nice, I think. Sure. That just helps tie everything in with the theme, I think. Yeah. Let's also grab a font. I've been meaning to do that. God, I have a million things open. Let's go to good old font. And find one. So for the font, I kind of want it to be kind of cartoony, but not like super cartoony, if that makes sense. Like a little chunky, but not like still like pretty readable and stuff, you know. SpongeBob. We do have to sort by copyright free or whatever. I'm just gonna do the ones that are public domain because it's easier. I'm just gonna do an example text so we can find what looks nice. Like almost something like this where it's just like a little stylized, but it's not like crazy, you know. And I almost like the low poly look of something like that, so maybe. That's kind of a cool font. Paper Cuts 2. We'll take a look at that one. We'll try those out. I mean, we've also got like old school fonts and stuff. There's really not that many in here that are public domain. Oh well. I mean, maybe it's also the 100% free stuff. Okay, yeah, that one's... There's more of those. I mean, I think 100% free is free then. Won't do a pixel font. I do kind of like this one. It's like... a little goofy, but it's still like totally readable and stuff, right? This one might be a little too stylized, I don't know. Same with this one, but I don't know. I do like how it looks like things are cut out of scissors, though. That's good. I mean, honestly, this one's looking pretty good so far. I say we download this one and give it a try. Apparently, I already downloaded it. I don't know when. Ugh. No! It's all over! Ah! It's in my eye, bro. Okay. OTF or TTF? I think open font is probably better. Okay, so now it's in here. Oh my god. How do I change the default font? That's the question here. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can set a font with a theme, right? Oh yeah, right here. So can I just load that in? Oh yeah, there we go. I think that font's pretty nice. I mean, we'll mess with it and figure out what we want to do. Let's go 16 for default size. That looks pretty good to me. We could do the oversampling stuff, just to make it sharper. Because like that looks really blurry. don't know if oversampling will actually fix that. Oh, it does. Let's not do that insane of an oversample. Yeah, that's all we really need. Okay, so anyways, now that we've got that sort of set up, we can start making stuff fancy here. Let's add a little separator here. It's honestly pretty much all we need. Just a little bit of a gap. And then on this, I want to set the font size. So font size is equal to 24, maybe. Something like that, probably. It's already centered. Yeah, I mean, that should basically be it. I wonder if I should have the distance gone in terms of kilometers or in meters. I don't know. I'll go in terms of meters, I guess. Alright, let's see what this looks like in game now. I should also change like the font and the buttons and stuff. Definitely is a little tiny, just for the default scale. Might increase that just a tad. Where is that under? Oh yeah, it's in the theme. Let's go up to 20 for default size, just so it's a little more readable, I think. Yeah. I do like the font. I think it'll work. I don't know why our progress bar is all the way filled up. I guess that was like that before, I just never noticed. I feel like I'm lagging or something. Not sure what's up. Like, why is my shovel being jittery? I do want to run like an FPS counter on the top just for testing so I can make sure we're all good. So our entire train is dying. Yeah. Let's maybe fix that. Hey, Ben Newman, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been doing? Hope you've been doing good. But yeah, question, how do you manage multiplayer for Starground? So what I do for Starground is I am using the built-in multiplayer nodes. That includes the synchronizer and the spawner nodes. So those will let you do a lot of things with multiplayer. So the spawner nodes will essentially sync any scene that you put in. So with spawner nodes, you can like enter in a path to a scene, right? So I can put in, for example, res player dot scene. So that means whenever I on the server, so the good way to think about it is having like the server and client. So if I go ahead and say, you know, add child over here, and I add this scene as a child, then it'll automatically add that scene over here to the client. So anyways, it's just a very convenient way of syncing the creation and also deletion of nodes, because that's the other thing with the spawner node is if you now delete this scene from the server, it'll delete it over here too. So if I delete it here, then over here it's also deleted. So it's a really nice way to synchronize like states of what nodes exist and stuff. And then, of course, the other node is the synchronizer node. So what that'll be is it's going to let you choose a variable inside of a node. So I'll just add one in really quick. So here's the synchronizer. I can say add a property to sync, and then I can choose whatever property here I want. You can also do your own custom properties if you just use the export thing. So you export the variable. But I can say, okay, motion mode, and now I can say replicate. So what that'll do is grab that bit of information. So let's say the number is 1. It'll pass that over to the client, and now that number for the client will be 1, right? So that's how that one works. And that one's really helpful too for just syncing values for that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I use. I also use Godot Steam just to kind of connect up like Steam with the multiplayer networking. Godot Steam has a specific like build that lets you use the multiplayer peer, this one. So you can use the Godot nodes, the spawner and synchronizer, and also connect it up with Steam. So very useful. I like it. I have had a good time using it. The Godot multiplayer stuff. Some people prefer to just straight up use the Steam networking, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you like that more, then that's totally fine. But I like how easy the multiplayer nodes and stuff are to get into, so. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Always happy to answer more questions if you've got any. But yeah. Yeah, I do always apologize for not putting anything on the Ko-fi page. I want to, it's just so time consuming. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. One of these days, once I have a little bit more time, hopefully. Definitely with like a next game or something, like I should have more time for that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so we need icons for this stuff now. So first icon, I think I'm just gonna do like a chunk of coal. I don't know exactly what this is gonna look like. Oops. Does that even look? No. It's bad. Okay, cool. So the Godot Steam allows you to connect to client server. Yeah, so Godot Steam, you can do like the Godot networking without Godot Steam, but essentially what that does is let you do it through Steam. So normally what you have to do is if you're connecting with just the base Godot multiplayer stuff, you have to forward your port. So like 4474, I think is the port for Starground or something. So you have to configure that on your router, and it's this whole process. And then to connect to somebody, you need just their IP address, which will be like some whatever, you know. This isn't a real address, but right. So you need to know this IP address, and they need to forward their port. So it's just a really complicated way to connect to people, right? What's nice about Godot Steam is you can get it hooked up so that when you launch a server, you just open a Steam lobby. So it'll just say Steam lobby open. And you don't have to, people don't have to like do all this garbage to connect. And then to connect to somebody, you just say on your friends list on Steam, right? You go to your friends list and just click join. And then the game will recognize that as a signal and go ahead and join that lobby. And it handles all the stuff. So it's really nice. I think that's definitely the best way to go about it. Steam multiplayer is super convenient and nice to use. Ultra easy to get set up and stuff, you know, so I would recommend it. But yeah, I mean, you can do, you know, all the Steam stuff manually if you really wanted to, but yeah, I don't see what the point of that would be, right? Because I think that Godot Steam is pretty nice. But yeah, I'd definitely take a look at it. I think Godot Steam is a really easy way to do that stuff, so. I'm trying to think how to do a coal icon right now, right? Probably just something like this. That'll probably do. Here we go. Maybe we can have some regions on here that are brighter. Shrink that down. Thank you. Yeah, no problem at all. Let me know if you've ever got more questions about that stuff. But hopefully that'll get you on the right track. So, for coal, maybe I'll have like a little bright zone over here or something. Let's see how that looks once it's filled in. I mean, it looks like coal. It'll probably work. Just kind of clean up a couple areas. I think it'll be fine. I mean, maybe we do like a little bit of a darker color, sort of an in-between for like these kinds of areas. Somewhere around there. So like this one would be the in-between color here. Maybe. Same with like this over here, maybe. I don't know. I think it looks like coal. I think it's fine. Alright, so let's give this an outline. I'm thinking of doing a white outline for these, just so that it's really, like, visible. So just something like that. Should look good. So that'll be our coal icon. And this is 64 by 64, so it's... I mean, you're only going to see it at a small scale. It's not going to be blown up like that. So I think it'll be okay. I hope. I do wonder if I should have made it bigger, but I mean, I always can. I guess it's not a big deal. Well, maybe we should just go ahead and do that for this next one. Oh well. Now, I need to do a water drop. I do wonder if I already have, like, a water drop thing in here. No. So we're just gonna have to do a circle. Whatever size we want to do for that. 200 by 200 or something, maybe. Too big, actually. Let's go 170 by 170. And then we're just going to fill it in with a rounded triangle. Something kind of like that. Maybe we mess with it until it looks right. Just a pixel more over there. That looks like a water drop to me. Let's shrink it down just slightly. Making it look too blurry. Shrink it down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and center it. Now, the outline thickness... It's hard to tell exactly how wide I want that to be, but... definitely wider than that. Like 16, maybe? 16 seems pretty good. Oops. I don't like how it did the anti-aliasing on the outline. Looks kind of bad, doesn't it? Whatever, you won't even see it. So this will be a water icon. Well, now I have to redo the coal icon because it's going to look bad since the other one is big now. So let's resize to 256. Let's just do adaptive. So let's see, just as an experiment, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. All right, start filling it out. Let's go up to like something way larger. 40. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too big. And we'll modify this and clean it up, you know. Nope. Oh, that's why I couldn't see anything. I was like, what? I was doing it on this semi-transparent layer. There we go, now I can actually see. This is also a good opportunity to fix some of the things I didn't like. So why not? The only thing is that I wanted this one to be just a little bit like this. Then let's get the black. It's a little tricky to fill this in right. But I can... No, it just doesn't look right. I should probably do what I did before and just fill the whole thing in with black. And then go through and do it. Just to have like a base color, you know? Yeah, it's probably gonna be better that way. Hate to do it, but... because now I can just go and fill everything in. There we go. There's gonna be some little areas we have to fix. That's totally fine, not a big deal. Okay. I do like the shape of that, I think. So let's get our medium brightness color. So this one will go like... Let's actually start with the brightest. So there's going to be a triangle on top. Like that. And then a triangle over here. Like that. All right. The medium color. Oops. Yep. Something kind of like that. Bring that all the way down. All right. Let's just quickly fill this all in. Then we'll fix the edges and we're good to go. Okay, so let's fix all these little bits now in here. So a lot of these I'm probably just going to try rounding. Oops. Looks okay. There we go. Fix this mess up here. Sort of fill that in. Keep messing it up. Okay. This bit. Delete that bit. Clean up around here. You can hide the bottom layer now, honestly. Keep seeing minor little pixels in here that are colored weird. Yeah, that's fine. Fix this bit. Alright, we're almost there. Clean this up. Fix that. Fix here. There we go. Yeah, definitely weird to do this style, right? Because I've always done pixel art, so like doing like high-res assets is odd. But it's not terrible. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like thinking about how to do these kinds of things. I don't hate it necessarily. I just need to like get a better workflow for it, you know, to like understand how to do it better. I mean, this looks fine. It doesn't look terrible. It could probably be a little better, but it's fine. outline it, and then we're done. I see that we have to shrink it just a tad. It's fine. I think anisotropic is the least blurry. Unless it's not. Actually, bicubic. Sort of get that centered. Now outline. And we're good. Well, I kind of went a little too far with the scaling. Just a touch. Ooh, are we good? Yeah, we're good. Alright. Anyways. That's our new coal icon. Now we can add those in down at the bottom, just so that you know which dial is which. It's just a good idea, you know. No, don't open documentation. Alright, that's probably a little bit too big. Let's go down to keep aspects centered and say fit width proportional. Okay. Fit width proportional, keep aspects centered. And this will be our water icon. Right there. Awesome. I do like those icons. I mean, they look nice. I think it'll be fine. It's just a little bit of an indicator to know which is which. So hey, thank you for the follow. Got some weird train Intel CPU ad. Yeah. Wacky. What's going on? Finally got another change push to start the game tags. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's good. So I think I saw you can do like you can start like you can create a page for a game without having to upload it yet, right? Because I would like to get started on that early. Whenever I do jams like this, I like to get the page just like built, so that when the time comes to submit, I'm not rushing to fill in all the details. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's take a look at that because I'd love to. Oh yeah, I was supposed to check the Minecraft Live stuff. I'll check that. It looks so bad in the preview. It looks like I'm a toddler drawing. Oh well. Game creation is gonna get some more options soon. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Ayo. I got a whole thing going on. Some of these games are pretty cool. It makes me demotivates me because I'm like, my game kind of sucks. But it's okay. You know, you won't really know truly. I mean, the thing is, you got to remember this is just an image. You don't know how it's actually like to play. So okay, cool. So yeah, you can create it now. That's nice. Well, I will opt in for all of them. One dev army. This is nice. So this is called Coal Keeper. I think it's pretty obvious why it follows the theme, but I'll put in some info for that. Okay, so we put it up on itch. Okay. Made in Godot. Let's go. It does have some screen shake. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So I'll just create it. Okay, cool. So I can edit this and then publish it later. Yeah. Okay, nice. That's good. Yeah, because I like just having that ready to go. So we are hosting on itch then, so I'll go ahead and probably also make an itch page for it, but I'll get to that. Let's see how that looks with the icons, though. I want to make sure it's not, like, blocking my view too bad, which it doesn't seem to be. I think it's okay. It's good because you can see it on any color background, so it's pretty obvious what's what. There's a little bit of UI mismatching happening right now, where like some things are white with a black outline and whatnot. So I might change the train icon up there from being white with a black outline to something else. Maybe we'll just make it like a full-on train. I don't know, we'll see. I would also like to make it so that when you're running low on one of these things down here, it starts like, you know, flashing and turning red, right? Just so it's like, ah, I know that's the one that's low. But yeah, this is looking good though. Things are definitely getting there. I mean, every little bit that I add, it's, you know, just another nice little bit. Of course it would be, yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I think we're at a good spot right now. I do have to leave. I know I I started streams so late. I do apologize, everybody, for that. I slept. I snoozed too hard. I do think I'm getting a little bit of lag. I'm not sure from what, but it's pretty easy to double check on that. Okay, it's definitely not physics, so it's a visual thing. So what part in here? Looks like just render 3D. It could be all those particles that I created, which I wouldn't be surprised. I'll probably change those over to GPU particles. Process time is like 9 milliseconds. But that's the thing, it's not any one of my functions, it's not script functions, so it must be the particles. So we'll change that. Yeah, this is shaping up, I think. I just gotta keep working on the style. I guess it's kind of like a little bit of a cartoony, low poly style, I guess is what I'm going for now. Not exactly low poly, I guess. Kind of low poly. More like angular. Not angular, though. I don't know. Because some things are smooth, like the pipes and stuff. A softer, stylized. Almost think of like a game like Raft or something, but without so many normal maps. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep shaping up the visual style of things and get that looking how I want. But this looks good so far. All right. Well, I hate to do it, but that's going to be it for today because I have to go eat dinner. But yeah, it's going good. Every little bit helps. I mean, we got the damage stuff working. It's going good. Shut up, me. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll have time to get all the gameplay stuff kind of worked out. So yeah. Cool. Anyways, I'm conflicted whether to raid Maxwell or raid somebody working on a game in the jam. Maybe I will raid somebody in the jam. Just so that I pass it on. Oik is actually doing the jam, which I didn't realize, so it's freaking raid Oik probably. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. I'll be here again tomorrow. And that's gonna be where we sort of finally hit like polish stage, right? Because we got to get things like kind of, you know, ready to go. So I'm gonna grind out the rest of like the gameplay mechanics tonight, and then we're gonna try and get things more finished tomorrow. So yeah, and then Monday is just gonna be pure polish stuff, play testing, balancing numbers, and making sure that everything is fun. So it's definitely gonna be hard to balance all that, but we'll try. Enjoy the stream. Game's looking neat. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna go right out. Feel free to buy Starground on Steam. Join the Discord if you want. Commands or links are in the description. And yeah, hopefully the game will be fun. I don't know if I'm gonna work on it more after the jam. I'll just have to see what people think about it. I mean, maybe I will. Who knows? We also do have to make music, which is gonna be really hard because I don't make music, so we're gonna try. It's probably gonna be more like ambient kind of thing. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start the raid. But thank you, everybody. I'll be here tomorrow around, hopefully, 3-ish p.m. MDT, Mountain Time, Daylight Savings. We'll see. I can't make any promises because, you know, with the jam, it's like sometimes I stay up super late and then I get tired. And yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.